Okay, guys, so I just found the official trailer for the new Terminator movie, which I didn't realize was a movie. We got Entertainment Weekly magazine the other day, and the way it was portrayed in the magazine, it made it seem like it was going to be a TV show. I didn't read the article because fuck reading. Um, but I'm going to watch this, and I will react to it. Jin, 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 jin.
I'll be back.
What? Okay, so um, first off, they're pretty much combining the first two movies into one movie. I, cause I guess it's supposed to be a retcon. Like I said, I don't really know. This is my first exposure to the actual story, and it's so they have Kyle Reese being sent back to the past, presumably to the 1980s, like in the first one, to save John's mom, and then she just shows up, and it turns out there's a Terminator there, but it's a T-1000, the liquid metal one, like from the second one, and he's pretty much the same. He's a cop, dressed as a cop, and he has the metal arms, and that's pretty much copy pasta right there. But she isn't helpless because old Arnold Schwarzenegger is there, and he's still a T-800, and that somehow destroys the entire timeline because the original one, Kyle Reese gets sent back to fight the one T-800 Terminator is Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's the whole movie. But in this one, it's got T-800 Arnold Schwarzenegger, the old one, as if he's from the original series, the same Terminator, because he's all old and shit. And then a new T-800, which is like a CG version of Arnold Schwarzenegger, that looks a lot better than the CG version of Arnold Schwarzenegger from Terminator Salvation that came out. And then there's the T-1000, who is the primary bad guy again. So it's like they took all of the good parts, I assume, of the first two movies and retconned it to be into one movie. But then they say, we can stop Judgment Day, and it has all these big flashy stuff, like there's like a bunker, as if they're going to the place in Terminator 3 where they go to stop Skynet from launching and turning on and everything. So who directed this? I want to see really quick. Terminator Genesis. I don't understand why Genesis is spelled so weird. Maybe science fiction film. Alan Taylor. Let's see what he's done. Fifth installment, which is like a complete retcon and reboot, though. So, it's got Emilia Clarke, who plays the Khaleesi in Game of Thrones, which I guess is pretty cool. Jason Clarke, which I assume is no relation, who is in, let's see, the old Twilight, Twilight, the old people having sex. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Zero Dark 30, Public Enemies. Alan Taylor is the guy who directed it, known for his work on Lost, West Wing. He's done a bunch of TV shows, a lot of TV shows. He did The Dark World, though, which Thor: The Dark World, I thought that was pretty good after the second one, but I just don't understand. I mean, I guess it's I guess is the only real move they could make with the movie. Really think about it, because the third one is garbage, in my opinion. I hated the third one. The third one tried to do what I think this one is doing, is they tried to combine, you know, they tried to bring back Arnold Schwarzenegger, even though he's really old. They make him cool again, you give him the same lines and the same throwback stuff, and then the enemy, or the bad Terminator, is a mix between liquid and metal, or liquid metal and normal metal, just to make it like, ooh, up in the ante. And the character who played John was a fucking pussy, and it wasn't good, in my opinion. And I think I've only seen Salvation once, maybe twice, and it was okay, I guess. I don't think, because you know, the big stink about that movie is the whole Christian Bale thing of him being a dick on set, and that kind of is the one lasting memory about that movie, is him being a dick on set, and not the actual movie. But from like I said, from the teaser, it just looks like they're doing a reboot by combining the first three movies into one movie. And even, well, actually, this is the fifth installment, taking bits and pieces from all four previous movies, because they have Sarah Connor, T-800, Arnold Schwarzenegger, T-1000. John doesn't exist, so he's not there, which I think is a good thing, because he just kind of like, since he was a little kid in the second one, and he was a douchebag in the third one, just best to get rid of him altogether as a kid in the past. And then it's got a bunch of the war stuff with John as an adult, which is Salvation. So they take all, you know, all the, like I said, the best parts of the first four, which there isn't much from the third one to take, but all the best parts from the first four, tie it together, do a time paradox storyline where when Kyle Reese goes back, things have already changed from the story that we know from the first one, and just, you know, repackage it. Which now don't get me wrong, me saying that they're taking pieces from the first four and repackaging it, that's not a bad thing. It's just very, very obvious, very, very obvious that that's what they're doing. And I mean, it looks nice. I could tell that the one there is in the clip, there's a Terminator just in the exoskeleton shooting. It's like in the war time in the distant future, and he's like shooting his laser gun or whatever, and he's completely CG, which I think is pretty fucking stupid, considering the Terminators in the original ones, a lot of them were animatronic. They were real, and that made them, you know, it made it better, in my opinion, which I'll go on a complete tirade about visual effects versus special effects on a different video. But I think if it seems like they're going to do a lot of the stuff in the past too, because like at the beginning is going to be them in the future. John sends Kyle back, and then once Kyle's back in the past, you know, bing bang boom, explosions, one-liners, Arnold Schwarzenegger, old. Maybe, I don't know how long the young one is going to be in there. It seems like the old one is going to show up and then kill it really quickly and be like, oh, real old Schwarzenegger is still a badass, even though he's like 60 years old. And then maybe this is just going to be a one-off, and this is going to be the end of the series, which, again, I don't really know the timeline or the ideas of the Paramount or anything like this for the series to keep going, since this is somewhat of a retcon, because a lot of things are changing. But it seems like since they're taking bits and pieces from the first four and compiling them all into one movie, that this might be it. They're taking all the best parts, giving us one last shot at a good Terminator movie before Arnold Schwarzenegger's dead and can't be in anymore, since he's, you know, the main. Seems like he's the main draw, and, you know, say, okay, here's the characters you love, here's the storyline that you love, is just, you know, Terminator versus Terminator, human versus Terminator, all thrown into one, and it's just going to be, you know, super action blockbuster. Since it's coming out in July. So, yeah, I see this being one, a repackaging of the first 4 movies, cut up and, you know, re-edited with better effects, even though I think visual effects aren't as good as special effects, like real live effects. And, you know, just cutting out a lot of the stupid drama. It's getting right into the action. You know, Sarah shows up and saves Kyle, who Kyle is the one who sent back to save her, and she's already a badass, so we don't have to worry about protecting her. We know Kyle, he's a badass because he's in the war against the Terminators, and he's been alive to be as old as he is, so we know that he's, you know, probably killed his fair share of Terminators in the future. We have old Schwarzenegger being a T-800 again, and he's, you know, been a badass the whole time. And then we have this new actor, which I think it might be this guy. Yeah, Lee Byung-hun is a Korean South Korean actor who has been in nothing I've ever seen. Wait, no, he's in G.I. Joe. Let me see. Filmography, G.I. Joe. Storm Shadow from G.I. Joe. He plays the T-1000 in the trailer, which as soon as they showed a cop car in the trailer, I was like, is really they're bringing back the I can't think of his fucking name. So Robert Patrick, is that his name? Yeah, Robert Patrick's character was the T-1000 in the second one. Because, you know, cop car pulls up, and then when Kyle is running through the store, there's a cop walking around all, you know, robotic and shit. And then a car busts through the thing, and she knocks him and makes this big metallic sound, and she starts shooting him, and he starts, you know, going poof, 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 when the bullets are hitting his liquid metal body. And I was like, okay, T-1000, when it's supposed to be the T-800 storyline. It was kind of confusing me. But, you know, that's... I'm obviously going to see a movie. I like Terminator. Who doesn't like Terminator? I mean, really. So, I'm definitely going to go see it. But, initially, going into it, I know it's going to be... this is like the 3rd or 4th time I said it. It's repackaging of the first 4 movies. And it should be, if they pull it off right, it'll just be, you know, like an 80s movie. You know, harking back to that, which is just action, 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 action. No real story. Because the first Terminator, you know, you think about it, dude gets sent back and is just protecting this girl from a robot. That's the whole plot. There's no, you know, we have to save the world, or, well, I guess it is kind of like that, because if he lets Sarah die, then, you know, the world won't be saved by John in the future. But I don't know. This is just my first impression of the new Terminator movie, and I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys seen the trailer, I can post a link to it under, you know, under this, and yeah, if you guys are interested in or if you guys have any ideas of what the new Terminator might be, like I've said all my piece, let me know what you guys think. All right, peace.